What's going on, Dolphins? It's your boy Dillon, and I am back with you for another one. Don't have a lot to really tell you about today. Not a whole lot of news. There's a press conference from Adam Gase, one from Tannehill, so I'll have those for you. That's really going to be the big part of this video. But I did want to tell you that the one significant thing is that Rashad Jones didn't practice today. Apparently he's nursing a little bit of a shoulder injury, but it doesn't appear to be serious. I've heard reports that it is possible he could miss this upcoming game against the Raiders, but it looks like that there's also a pretty strong possibility that he could play. So, I mean, right now, Coach Gase, I guess, said he's day-to-day, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Hopefully he plays. Hopefully he's all right. Hopefully he won't have to, miss any time at all. But frankly, if he had to miss this game, I'd rather him miss this game and then be, good to go for the Patriots game. But anyway, and then obviously for the rest of the season. But we'll see what happens. The coaching staff knows what they're doing. But like I said, in any event, the big thing about that is it doesn't appear to be serious. And even if he did happen to miss this game, he shouldn't have. It doesn't appear as if that it's going to be anything to keep him out for any extended period of time. So anyway, with that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys enjoy the interviews coming up. And if you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with your friends, leave questions, comments, concerns, and with that, I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.
They have a tight end that really hurt you guys last time you faced them. Tell me a little bit about keeping that guy under control and that offense under control.
They got some ball players over there, man. They're a good team. And then they don't let their record doesn't dictate who they are. They're 0-2, but they're still a good football team. And we're gonna go and prepare like we do each and every week. So they got some good skill guys. They got a really good up front O line. Their defense is good, but the special teams they play good football. So we got to come in, prepare, and have a good week of practice, and go put full force on Sunday.
Does it matter they have a new head coach, a new coaching staff, and all that, or do you guys go back to what last season what they were able to do against you guys?
I mean, yeah, you can take a look at some of the things that hurt you last season, and some of the things they may come back to. But you take it's a new coach, new system, new scheme. So just everything. Just keep in mind that the things that hurt last year, and progress to looking at what's going on this year.
Bobby, a lot's been made about that play at the end of the half. The type of effort that you made. A lot of guys might just stay there watching the play. What did it take for you to just notice that and make that play?
We practice it each and every day. When we have our red zone days on throughout the week, where everybody says, keep them out, and that's one thing we preach. And even if it's a walkthrough, keep them out. So just keeping them out of the end zone, man. At the end of the day, like people at the time, you wouldn't think it was a big play. It was a huge play, stop touchdown. So just giving extra effort. And those guys hustling on a play like TJ and Rashad with the big hit. So just trying to keep them out of the end zone and save us a touchdown. It saves the game.
Did the clock in your head tell you that if you didn't get in, the half was going to run you?
Yeah, I knew they didn't have timeouts. So like when I tackled him, I knew they didn't have timeouts. So I got up right away and that rolled the clock. It was 2 seconds left. So
Brett Breckheisen can confirm this for me, but I'm pretty sure the Dolphins through 2 games are #1 in the NFL in opposer passer rating. So I don't know if you knew that stat, but #1 is pretty good.
No, it's
when
pretty
you hear
good.
that, what do you think?
I mean, just keep chopping that wood. Like I said, it's not like all these pats on the back we're taking. We're not going. Don't look for them right now. Just keep chopping that wood. Keep doing what you do, because the same guys that were patting you on the back, same guys telling you weren't anything at the beginning of the camp. So at the end of the day, just keep chopping that wood. Take it practice by practice, game by game.
When you hear beast mode, what do you hear?
That's not what I hear. It's what I think of. It's power back, that dark visor, hard-nosed football player. I mean, growing up, you can't help to be a fan of Marshawn, so it's definitely an honor to play against him.
Having said that, you're looking forward to the challenge, but you got to stop that locomotive when he's coming at you.
Oh yeah, but it's guys like that. It's a team effort. So as a defense, we're gonna get all hands to the ball and do what we do. So I'm definitely excited.
What is the biggest challenge that their offense is it that running game first?
They have weapons. They have the tight end. I mean, they got Cooper, Marshawn. I know he's a little older, but he still runs hard and physical. So they have some weapons. So, pretty much just containing and with any offense, you got to stop the run. So that's important.
Having said that, with all those weapons and everything, I don't know how much you've watched of them, but how are they 0-2? What have they been able to do?
I can't speak on that, but it's the National Football League. It's 16 weeks, so we still got 14 more to go. So we got a long way to go. 0-2 don't mean nothing, just like 2-0 don't mean anything. So you got to go out there and just keep performing.
How much more comfortable are you now, week 3, than you were coming into week 1?
Comfortable, I feel a lot better. Just knowing the guys, knowing the personalities. That's just normal. Over time, you get comfortable. But as far as just playing on the field, I'm kind of easing into playing Sam. So just out there, just doing what I do. Starting to, it's time for me to make plays, not just do my job.
How much fun is it when you get in and make a play, recognizing different routes and being there before the run hits the hole?
Yeah, it's way better. It's honestly just amazing. Even on my screen, I didn't play as much this past game, but when you get out there, you got to make the most of your opportunities. And just that screen, I was excited. It's a lot of things that I can work on, but I definitely get excited for the good things I do too.
Whether it's through the zone read game or getting outside the pocket and running, it's definitely something that I think can add an element to our offense where teams have to defend it.
I guess first play of the game last week, and I think you said that wasn't a design run. That was supposed to be a throw.
Yeah, it was just a bootleg pass. Danny ended up getting hung up on the backside, so there was a ton of space there, and was able to scoot through.
Kind of tone that sets when you can rip off a 25-yard run the first play of the game.
Yeah, it's always good to get started with an explosive, whether it's a run or a pass. Something we talk about a lot is coming out and getting that first down, because we feel like once we get a first down, we usually sustain drives, and so to be able to come out and get an explosive early is big.
Those runs are something you've done in your past, especially in 16. Are you kind of surprised that they're kind of just leaving that open for you a little bit? That teams haven't really picked up on the fact that you can run it?
Well, teams they know. I think it's just a matter of defending it. It's hard to defend those plays. When you put pressure on them, change up the looks that you're giving the defensive end. With the guys coming back, the guys blocking them, the guys going around them. They're seeing a bunch of different looks. So we try to mix it up as much as we can so that they don't just know zone reads coming at them. They have to, play what they see. And when there's any hesitation, then the offense can get the advantage.
Brian, you won 2/3 of your games with Coach Gase and 9 of your last 10 games with Coach Gase. And I know you can kind of make what you want in statistics, but I was wondering what you think it is about the combination of you and Coach Gase that is working.
Yeah, I think we work well together. I think there was a little bit of a period of kind of finding out what each other did well and how we could best, push each other and push this offense and work together. And I think we kind of figured that out midway through 16, and then, started playing well, and then unfortunately got injured. But I think it's just a kind of a cohesion of our two minds. We work really well together. We think alike, and he's constantly pushing me to get better, whether it's something pre-snap, post-snap, during the play, a footwork thing, what to look at. He's constantly just pushing little areas where I can get better, and I love it. I love trying to push myself and be the best quarterback I can be.
Ryan, at 2-0, are you starting to see reasons why you're having success? Is there things that you're doing consistently, not you, but the offense is doing consistently, that leads to winning football games?
Well, I think there are two different games. You look at the first game and then this last one, found a way to win both games, and it was two completely different ball games. So what I like is the fact that this team has a hunger and desire to find a way to win. And that's what it comes down to. Is it's not always going to be pretty. Sometimes you're going to be clicking on all cylinders for the whole game. Sometimes, like, we started off playing really well, bouncing off the defense, and then in the second half we couldn't quite get it going and weren't playing great. But when it came down to it at the end, when we needed something to make it happen, we hung in there and fought and were able to run out that clock. So I like the grit I see from this team. Now we have a lot of talent and a lot of guys that can be explosive with the ball in their hands. So got to have that and be able to be successful for 4 quarters. But I like the grit that I see, the mindset that we have that, hey, we're going to find a way to win this game.
You're putting up the stats, and yet the team is, I think, the 8th running the football right now. So I imagine you're good with a running offense. No?
Yeah, I'm good with whatever is winning. Whatever scores points. That's the goal as an offense is to be able to put the ball in the end zone. So whether that's running or throwing, whatever it may be, I'm all in on getting the ball in the end zone.
Seems like that post-game deal with Frank and Jakeem, or on the field, you're having a lot of fun. Is this the most fun you've had in your career?
Yeah, I think so. Just where I'm at in life now. How much gratitude I have after being away from the game for so long, and just being able to do what I love, go out there every day, be around the guys, push the guys, try to make them the best they can be, and then go out and compete on Sundays. It doesn't get any better than that.
Ryan, I know you probably don't care about the answer to this, but curious what your theory would be. Expectations were obviously so low nationally for this team. 3-13 record thrown out by Sports Illustrated, like really bad. Your theory as to why that is, and in your mind, do you think people nationally might just underestimate some of your younger players that aren't household names like Kenyon, Jakeem, people like that?
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't really care, honestly. Yeah, I don't want to really even think about it because I care that much. It's just like what national media says doesn't really matter. What matters is the guys in this building, all the work that's put in, the belief that we have in one another, and going out and executing and finding ways to win.
And as far as maybe some of your young players not being that known, you think there could be anything to that in general? As far as
I want to see our young guys, get a lot of shine. We have a lot of talent on this team, and I want to see them get the exposure that they deserve because I believe in them. I know that they can make big plays for us. They're going to make big plays for us, and that they should get some recognition for that. So hopefully, we just keep taking this one game at a time, and it'll take care of itself.
All right, the most important question of the day, the Albert Wilson celebration. Looks like you tried to jump in and you backed off. What happened?
Yeah, I saw them. I felt like I was kind of late to the party, and they were already there. So I just kind of pointed at them like, "Hey, these are the guys who make it happen, and let them get their shine." I didn't want to jump in the front of their photo or anything like that. So they seemed like they're having a good time, and I wanted to get in, but felt like I was late and just kind of stood to the side and pointed at them like, "Hey, these are the guys that make it happen."
Ryan, how is the offensive? What you have available offensively to you? How is it better than you've had in the past, last year, whenever?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here to compare this year to last year or anything like that, but I believe in the guys that we have. We have so much speed in the wide receiver room. You add in Mike Gesicki, a tight end, Kenyon Drake out of the backfield, and we really have a bunch of game breaker type guys that can really take a short pass or a run and go the distance at any point. So it's just a matter of getting the ball in their hands and letting them work.
That seems like an ideal situation for a quarterback. You just said a short pass, not a very risky pass in a lot of cases, and then these guys can turn it into something big.
Yeah, of course. I love throwing to these guys. It's a lot of fun. You see Albert Wilson took a short pass this last game, hit the guy with the dead leg and was able to speed up the sideline for a touchdown, and we have also the speed to get behind them. So we can stress the defense in a lot of different ways, and like I said, get the ball in the playmaker's hands and let them work.
They're not, all the throws would be difficult for me, but relatively, those are not difficult throws. Is that part of the reason why your completion percentage is so high, you think? Because these are such low risk passes?
I guess, I don't know. It's a matter of, just because I throw a short doesn't mean it's always low risk. It's all relative. So just putting the ball in the right spot, whether the play call and the coverage dictates where the ball should go, that's what it matters. It should be low risk if I'm going to the right spot with the ball.
Ryan, it seems like
Couple more guys.
Seems like on a week-to-week basis, there's this culture that's been created here. Sorry, weak word, but where some guys don't necessarily know, like, if they're going to be playing a lot that week, if they're going to be maybe even active that week. It's kind of like, the question is kind of about like the competitiveness that's been instilled here. Can you talk about what you've seen in that area and how the coaches relate it to the players?
Yeah, I don't know exactly the private conversations that are held, but I know that going out to practice each and every day that we want to compete, we want to push each other, and you have to play well week to week. I think that's what it comes down to is guys practicing hard, getting better week in and week out, pushing each other, and we want our best guys on the field.
It's only been, I guess, a couple games this year, but what is the biggest difference you've noticed since the last time you were on the field in 2016?
It's tough to say. It was so long ago. Like I said, this team has grit. I think that team had grit too. We found a way to win games at the end in 16, and it seems like we're turning into that team here as well. So it's early. We have a lot of football left in front of us. It's only week 3, but this is a big week for us, so we need to find a way to come out with a win.
Back to Joe's question, were you surprised that Devontae was down this past week?
I don't know. It was kind of up in the air on if he was going to be able to go or not, coming off the injury. Breaking in that finger, and that's a bad word, right, for a broken finger. Getting comfortable, I guess. Coming off the broken finger and the surgery and the confidence of where he was at. So I knew it was kind of back and forth throughout the week. Didn't really know going into the weekend where it was going to be, but I thought Jakeem and the other guys did a good job. Hopefully, we'll have him back soon.
Why are you thinking it's a big week? What goes through your mind when you're processing this big week?
Because it's the next one.
I knew you were gonna say
It's the next one. I know you hate that answer, but that's what it is. It's a home game, and it's an AFC opponent, and we want to play well at home. We want to win at home. So we have a big opportunity, and we have to take advantage of it.
Does the fact that good teams don't lose to winless teams come into play at all?
No. I mean, at some point, teams are going to win. So that hadn't even crossed my mind. It hadn't even crossed my mind. It's just a matter of going out, controlling what we control, and executing, and we'll be happy with the result.
Just get them to be quicker with their hands. They work on it a lot in their individual periods, but every once in a while just jumping in there and kind of trying to distract them a little bit. That's all I'm trying to do.
Adam, when you see the Raiders on tape, what do you see? What sticks out?
Well, I mean, playing these guys, we know a lot of their personnel from last year. We have a lot of weapons to deal with on offense. It's a new system for them with probably some of the similar concepts, but it's probably different verbiage for them. But you can see that they're coming together quick. The completion percentage was extremely high, which that happens a lot in Coach Gruden's offense, where once they kind of really get a flow of the offense, they're going to complete a lot of balls and they'll move it and then drain the clock at the same time. And they'll take their shots when it's available, and they have guys that can stretch the field out on at the receiver spot and the tight end spot. Very tough in the run game. And then on defense, this is a completely different scheme than what they've been running the last few years. So they got some new pieces to the puzzle there, and they got some longer corners that can get hands on you. So we're going to have to be good, making sure that we can get off the ball this week.
With Ryan, do you go into every week thinking we need to get him 4 design runs, 5 design runs? How does that work?
It just kind of flow of the game, situationally, like when's the right time to call them? When do we know we have a good number count? Some teams it's harder to run against than others. Just everybody plays everything a little different.
Is there a trust back there that he doesn't get too free and knows, when
he's pretty good about it. He knows when to get down. He did a good job of it last week. He stays true to what his job is as far as who he's reading, when he's supposed to pull it, when he's supposed to hand it off. He doesn't force it, which is good.
Adam, how do you grade your defensive line through 2 games?
I think those guys have done a good job. They're doing well as a unit. I love the fact that they're all contributing and they're all playing. I think Chris has done a phenomenal job with the amount of reps those guys have got. It's worked out. We've tried in the past to rotate those guys, and it hasn't worked out as smooth. And however, these games have gone. It seems like you look at the play count, and they're pretty close. I think Charles probably has a few more total snaps than those other guys because he plays special teams, but for the most part, those guys are staying pretty even, which is going to be a good thing for us.
With the rotation and the depth, what do you see happening in the second half as the game goes along?
Well, we're kind of really sticking with how we've been doing it.
As far as being guys being fresh.
Oh yeah, those guys are. That's the thing I love about when we get to third down. We got 4 guys going out there that are ready to rush the passer, and that's that's a good thing. I mean, between Robert and Cam coming off the edge and Branch, I mean, it makes it really, really tough with those guys with the speed they have.
Adam, how would you describe Devon Gottschall personality-wise? He seems pretty personable, outgoing, usually smiling. How would you describe him?
Yeah, I think it changes a little bit when he gets on the field. You know, he's an aggressive guy, and he's a violent player. I mean, you kind of have to be when you play inside there. He's a very coachable player, I know that. And he wants to do it right, and he wants to be, you know, the guy in that group that, you know, guys know he's going to get it done when he's in there.
How would you evaluate on Charles Harris played through 2 weeks?
I think it's, you know, I feel like he's had some plays, and we had a couple penalties in that. I think it was the first week where he was getting some pressure there, which they don't make the stat sheet, you know. But I think he's doing what we're asking him to do, and you know, we just got to keep applying that pressure. You know, he's one of those guys, and that's why we have so many guys up, because, you know, when we move from one guy to the next, it just feels it's a different style of player, and he still has that speed that those other guys have, and he can turn that corner and put the pressure on the quarterback we need.
Aside from the 2 penalties in week 1, Tunsil appears to have played well. Do you view it as a continuation, second half of last year, where he upped his game?
I think he learned a lot from last year, and then heading into the spring, I think adding the guys that we did, and kind of him and Josh having a good relationship and really building something there between those 2 guys, and I think that helped him. You know, there's some continuity there, and obviously now that Josh is down, Ted is at least somebody that he played next to in the past, and you know, those guys they have good communication, and they're able to work well together, and you know, it just seems like he's trending upward, and that's what we need him to do.
I was going to ask about him also. Kiko. Let's see if yours is better, yeah.
Probably not. Is Kiko playing how he was in 2016? You know, when we first.
It seemed like, I mean, he was around probably one of the more productive games I've ever seen by a linebacker, at least that I've been around. You know, I mean, he was all over the place. I thought he did a great job hustling on the football, good job of getting the ball out. I mean, he had some really good hits, and he was assignment sound. You know, I think it really has been good with him and the two young guys in there. They're starting to develop a really good chemistry, and you know, we just need to, you know, week in and week out, find ways to get better and just keep on working on, you know, throughout the season of getting better and improving on that chemistry with that group.
Considering what Jared Cook was able to accomplish last year against you guys and the type of season he's put together so far, do you guys feel better equipped to be able to handle him defensively this time around?
I think so. When a guy's a really good player, it's hard to just completely shut a guy down. You know, you got to find ways to make sure that guy doesn't beat you. I know last year we had our struggles against him, and like you said, right now he's playing really well, and we're gonna have to just make sure. It's just tough when it's that position, and they start spreading everybody out, but the back's still back there. There's a lot of things they can still do. So if you make it too light of a box, next thing you know, you got 24 running there, and if everybody's blocked up there and he gets some open field, then it becomes a bigger problem.
I think Derek Carr is second in the league, completing 80% of his passes already in 2 games. What have you seen from him that kind of just makes it so accurate?
Well, he's always been one of those guys that, you know, he's going to put the ball where it needs to be, and he's going to be accurate throughout the game, and we have to do a good job of trying to disrupt him and, you know, get hands up, you know, if they go quick game, and try to find ways to just get them off rhythm. And it's harder than it is to talk about. And you know, he has a great release to where he can change his arm angle. He knows where to go with the ball. You know, he's kind of to that stage of his career where there's not going to be too much that he hasn't seen, because, I mean, you learn real fast in the NFL when you're a quarterback and you're playing. You get thrown so much at you that you see a lot of things early, especially when you play in your first year.
It struck me that when you think about Tankersley, Parker, others, and whether or not they're up or down, starting or not, it seems like there's a thought process that goes into that relative to, in this environment, you're not going to be guaranteed a spot in the starting lineup. You're not even going to be guaranteed a spot on the active roster week to week. Can you talk about your mentality and mindset on what I've just talked about?
I think guys understand that we want to compete every week, and when we hit the practice week, it's a new week. You know, I mean, you have an idea sometimes, but there's usually a lot of spots that we're saying, hey, it's between you guys and whoever plays best, and both special teams, and whether it's offense or defense, that guy's up. So that's why we just want to make sure that, a guy doesn't feel like he's out, to where he's just going to be inactive every week. And that's the hardest thing to do. You just want guys to keep competing, because when something does happen and that player needs to be up, we need them ready. We need them to improve, just like anybody that's dressing for Sunday. And it's a tough battle, because it's mentally for a 24-year-old kid trying to keep his mind focused on his job. It's the first time that you're probably being told you're not going to play this game.
From what you saw all off season and in the preseason games, do you have a good idea yet of what you have in McTire as a cover corner?
Yeah, we got a pretty good idea. I think there's a lot of trust there. He's not afraid to put hands on anybody and try to stay as tight as possible. He's not afraid to throw his body in there when running backs or any kind of receiver catches the ball and try to make a tackle. I think he since the time he's gotten here, he's done nothing but improve, and really that's the number one thing we're always looking for from players.
Do you know Gruden at all?
Just it's not like we're not talking every week or anything.
Any good Gruden stories over the years?
I don't have any.
Not even like when he comes through for Monday Night Football or anything like that? Nothing?
Adam, you guys have more running plays than passing plays right now. No, this is not going that direction. Is that a function of having the lead more, or what the defense gives you, and does that even mean anything through 2 games to you?
I don't know. We did what we had to do to win the game. I think this last game, it just kind of worked out that way to where, when we got to the end of the game and I looked at the numbers, I was a little surprised that we had that many more runs than pass attempts. So, but that happens a lot of times when you do have the lead and you get in a 4-minute situation and you're trying to work the clock down. We had the ball with 5:56 left or something like that in the fourth quarter. So, you're not just going to start throwing it all over the place. You get a couple first downs and you realize, all right, hey, if we actually stay in bounds, we'll keep this thing moving.
If Rashad's unable to go, would you move Minka into that spot, or do you kind of like what Minka's doing
we got a whole bunch of different scenarios we worked out and just kind of talked about, so it's not really something I really want to put out there right now.
With Drake and Gore, it's basically 2-1 in touches now in favor of Drake. Is that kind of where you want to live, or do you want it more 50-50?
No, I think our plan wasn't really for that the first game. It just kind of worked out that way because of the breaks we had. We were trying to be really careful, especially after that second one. It had been a long day, and we were a little concerned about some of our older guys, to where, all right, hey, is this going to affect some of these guys? So we were smart with how we put those guys in the game, that first game, and then this last game. There's been a couple times too where we've called plays and they're runs, but the ball ends up going out to one of the wide receivers because of what the defense does. So it just keeps happening when Frank's in for some reason. So we're always going to try to keep those guys close. That's the plan. We like when both those guys have the ball.
Adam, does the heat factor, fourth quarter heat factor, go into game planning at all, considering what they might be wearing, or you guys are wearing, anything like that?
I think you really wait to see how the game's going. You can kind of try to have a plan, but it depends is it raining out, are we going to have cloud cover? You don't know. Every time I check the weather, there's a different percentage of rain. It was like 99 the other day. It was like 6 the next day, and then it was like 77 the next day. So.
You have lighting forecast?
No, I'm not even going to look at that.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the interviews. I hope you enjoyed the show. And as always, if you did, please hit the subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Post on Facebook. Whatever. Hit the like button, and definitely leave me some comments, questions, concerns, anything you'd like to see or hear in the videos, stuff like that. So definitely let me know. And of course, the most important thing is subscribe. So with that said, I'll see you guys soon, and Phins up.